A huge shout out to Christopher Darling, who designed most, if not all, of these paint schemes, I believe. The Iceberg, my boy, got a pretty cool paint scheme represented. I love that our partners are down with the Halloween theme this year and every year. Ooh, the silver, the chrome for Lionel Racing. Woo. Deep purple like the band. Oh, Fort Worth screen printing, this looks cool. Of course, Toxic Waste is here. You should be giving out Toxic Waste to trick-or-treaters in your neighborhood. I'm sure it'll blow their minds. Wouldn't be NASCAR without the classic Petty 43. Thad Moffitt is racing this evening. Scene Vault Podcast, another content creator represented. Classic. The Mummy Machine. Does Brendan Fraser have a iRacing rig? We need to get him one. This one looks familiar. The Garage Guys, Dale Tanhart, will be repping these colors tonight. Ooh, the blaster colors look fierce. Dogleg Media, we got tons of content creators represented tonight. It's a fun community event. Venture, man, this car looks like it's ready to go race in real life. This is a clean looking scheme. Across the board, fun games to play. Hopefully runs well in our racing game tonight. Got Parker Retzlaff from Jordan Anderson joining us as well. Ellie Productions been putting out some great content lately. Shout out. Ryan Vargas joining us as well tonight after a trip across the pond. Hasn't he been in Germany for a few weeks? Classic Lawless Allen colors. Appreciate them being a part of this event. Hey, I know that one. Nice to see the 17 stamped on the side. Lots of love being given out here to the YouTube community. Bologna Burger. Ooh, those orange bats pop on the side. This one's spooky. Understood the assignment. Ooh, I haven't seen flames like this in a while. I love it. That's cool. Mighty Thin Ice here. Now, how's it going, y'all? Just me. Welcome to Groovy Hollow. Doing my best Joel Miller impression here. It's not The Last of Us tonight. It's The Fast of Us. Yeah. Welcome to Groovy Hollow 3. Welcome to the stream. Good to see all of you here. This is the third year in a row now we've done an annual Halloween-themed charity event. In the first year, 2021, you'll remember the Halloween Machine returned after a decades-long hiatus to once again reign supreme at his home track. Last year, if you tuned in 2022, we learned the origins of the Halloween Machine, how he thwarted the Junkyard Jacks at Daytona many years ago. Now we're back in the present day. Groovy Hollow is back in the present day. Our drivers are ready for another spooky escapade. Appreciate all of you being here. Again, this is for charity to benefit Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network. The top link down in the description below will take you to our special Groovy Hollow donation page. Of course, we highly encourage you to go support such a great cause. It's awesome to see people filing in. Welcome, welcome. Happy Halloween. Before I turn things over to our very talented Podium broadcast booth, we should probably go over some of tonight's race format. Of course, everyone wants to know exactly.
Hello, Internet. You don't know me, but I've been watching you. I want to play a game.
What? Who is this?
There are many souls trapped at Groovy Hollow, but I only have need for one.
How is he getting through? Can we not just cut him off?
Only the fastest will survive. The rest can beg, scream, bargain for their lives, but it will do them no good.
Can y'all still hear me? Are we still live? You got me?
The only key to escape is the checkered flag. Winning is the only way to keep your life. I want to play a game.
Wait a second. This is just the plot to the movie Saw.
No.
Yeah, and game. The game is iRacing.
It's very mysterious.
I'm pretty sure I hit the nail on the head.
Play the game. It wouldn't be a game without rules. 120 laps. Every 30 laps, the 4 weakest souls will be eliminated. Better keep up.
Huh. Well, it seems tonight's Groovy Hollow 3 just got quite a bit more interesting. Let's see if we're still connected to Groovy Hollow. Hey, broadcast booth, this is Eric. Y'all got a copy? You there? Absolutely. Well, Devin, it's great to see you as well. Gentlemen, we've got an exciting night of racing, and now it seems there's even more on the line. I don't know what that interruption exactly was, but it sounds like our brave and trusty drivers down at Groovy Hollow will be racing for more than just a trophy. They're racing for their lives tonight, right, Devin?
Yeah, this is a little bit more Halloween spirit than I think I signed up for, Eric, but I guess I'm just going to stick around and find out. At least I'm not one of the drivers fighting for their lives, but at the very least, someone is going to come away victorious in whatever this Grand Master scheme is that we're going to find out here. But we have 25 incredible drivers here at Groovy Hollow Speedway. And here on Podium eSports and Out of the Groove, we are going to find out exactly who is going to win this competition of boldness, of battling, and of spookiness here tonight. So glad to have everybody along for the ride here at the high banks of Groovy Hollow.
Absolutely. And as always, we are racing for a good cause tonight. I'm going to continue to call this action out as often as I can, because we have a goal to reach tonight. We're hoping to raise $2,500 or more for Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. I've pinned the link in the chat, but you can also go down to the description here on YouTube. It's the first link you'll see. You can go check it out. And on screen right now, you can see some special incentives for those of you who donate. You donate a certain amount, could come with a free copy of the NASCAR 75th Anniversary magazine, could come with a year subscription to NASCAR Pole Position. If you donate $250, if you are feeling ever so generous tonight, you will also get your choice of either an Out of the Groove or Daily Downforce diecast. So a great cause tonight. As always, we appreciate the fine folks at Extra Life for working with us on this project. This is the third year in a row, and I think combined over the past 2 seasons, we've been able to raise over $20,000. So that's been absolutely incredible. It's great to see everyone live here tonight. Gentlemen, I think we should talk a bit about this race. We're racing at Groovy Hollow Raceway, which is a very unique track with a unique configuration. Joe, can you tell us a little bit more about what makes this track so challenging?
Well, part of it is that it's a short track, so the drivers are really going to be up against it with these long green flag runs. It's going to be difficult dealing with the traffic and whatnot. Even with only 25 cars, it's going to get congested quick. But more so, this place is known for being bumpy. So this is not really a place where you want to be trying to avoid being last, because so easily you can be knocked out of control and find yourself sent to the very back or to one of the last place positions. So I think this is a good choice here at Iowa's version of Groovy Hollow, because I feel like it'll definitely keep the drivers on their toes.
Absolutely. Devin, tonight's format is a bit interesting. It sounds like we're going to be doing eliminations of sorts every 30 laps. And I just got off the horn with race control. There won't be any cautions for incident until that stage break. So, I mean, just how wild do you expect things to get out there tonight as viewers right now are watching some laps of final practice?
Well, it sounds like to me that the Puppet Master is a fan of chaos, because that's exactly what this 7/8 mile track is going to end up bringing to everyone, because no cautions. I mean, I guess he was somewhat gracious by giving us 30 laps, but you know why cautions are thrown on the track, guys? It's because they should be cautious. Well, if there's no cautions and everyone is literally racing for their lives, I don't think that we're going to see much caution from these drivers in the first place. This is very similar to Stoops Pursuitish, if you will, because at the end of every 30 laps, we are going to eliminate 4 different drivers. And so we're going to do that throughout 200 laps of racing, and we're going to determine just one driver to survive this chaotic enclave, and everybody is going to want to be that one driver at the end, not just because obviously their lives are at stake, but also, well, they're all race car drivers also at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I guess, Joe, we should talk about some of the drivers racing tonight. We have an interesting mix of real life NASCAR stars from different series, as well as some of the top sim racers in the league. Last year's Groovy Hollow 2 champion David Shieldhouse is in the field. Are there any drivers in particular that you have your eyes on tonight, or any type of driver that you think is maybe more advantaged to run well and run up front?
Well, don't count out Mario Miranda. I've watched him race a lot over the years, and he's already looking fast in the warm-up. So definitely keep an eye out for the number 6 machine. But Parker Retzlaff so far is the quickest one in that number 31. So obviously he is going to be one that's looking like he's got a good handle on this car and track combination. But in general, honestly, I think the big theme is just trying to stay out of trouble. Like you heard Devin talking about, those who can really kind of manage the chaos are probably the ones that you'll see coming out on top.
My mistake. My audio cut out for a second there, my audio, but we're back. Some technical difficulties here early on. Apologies in the chat, trying to get some of the audio evened out, but you're watching some laps there of final practice. Guys, the chat has been voting for their favorite paint schemes so far tonight. Do you guys have a favorite that you've seen on track?
Well, first of all, I don't know who told Parker Retzlaff that he can actually drive his real-life NASCAR Xfinity Series Funkaway Chevy paint scheme. I don't know who allowed that to happen here on a Halloween night. It still looks fantastic, though, somehow. I don't know how. Somehow, even with the Halloween theming, it still looks fantastic. But I don't know. I like David Schildhouse's bologna burger. I don't know why. It just has this really interesting vibe and look to it, and it looks kind of spooky, while at the same time looks like a really cool race car. So that's got to be probably towards the top of my list right now.
Yeah, that's a great one for me. I'm a fan of this one on screen right now. The sponsor. What does that say? Advertise here. I didn't know we had an unsponsored Halloween car in the field. I think that's pretty great. The toxic waste machine is on screen right now as well. Looks bright, pops as ever. I don't know how much time is left in practice. I don't have a view of the timer at this point. So
yeah, 1 minute.
1 minute. Oh, then we're closing in on qualifying. You guys can see the speeds. Who is jumping out at you? I know we talked about Retzlaff a moment ago. Is there anyone else jumping out at you? Do you think qualifying will be everything, will be the most important part of this race, Joe?
I think it'll definitely be a big part of it because passing can be a bit difficult here. So yes, you want that track position, but more so, I think, because it comes down to the point I made before, there's going to be a little bit of chaos. That's going to be a theme throughout the night, probably. So just starting towards the front will kind of hopefully protect you a little bit.
And I think on top of that, Joe, if you're last three, last four, you're gone. So qualifying, if you're qualifying in the back 3 or 4, good luck, I guess. That's all I got for you. Good luck. I don't want that public coming after me.
No. Oh my gosh. And you can see practice has devolved here in the final seconds. It's going to be intense. Qualifying is coming up on deck here tonight. Once again, everyone watching this stream, be sure to go donate to Extra Life. We've got that link in the description down below, and we have special incentives in store for those of you who choose to donate a certain amount. So be sure to check that out, all for a great cause. Gentlemen, I'm going to turn things over to you as we get set to go green here, as I try to work on some of these audio issues. So I will be back in a moment. I will catch you guys hopefully at that first stage break. Good luck to all our competitors tonight. We've got some great racers who are going to be putting it all on the line for our entertainment, but also to survive the night here at Groovy Hollow. So I will be back in a few, Devin, but I'll turn things over to you guys as we get set for qualifying.
And thank you, Eric, because I think every single driver out here is going to be searching for that luck in which you wish upon them. Remember, guys, like he said, Groovy Hollow 3 raising money for Extra Life, a Children's Miracle Network charity. Chat, you guys did so great last year helping us raise a ton of money. We exceeded our goal 1 year ago. Let's do it again. Go to groovyhollowraceway.com. Donate right now. You have all the incentives on top of that as well. $55, $75, and $250 will all get you extra incentives. And of course, just being charitable during this time of year, always appreciative of all you guys willing to donate some extra money for a tremendous cause. But Joe, again, these guys are fighting for survival here tonight. Just how vital is this top 30 laps going to be? Not just in terms of the elimination towards the end of this opening stage, but on top of that, being outside of the bottom 6, bottom 8, bottom 10 when we close the first 30 laps.
Well, you'd think statistically that this is your best opportunity to avoid that cut line, right? Well, no. Like I said, everybody's going to be drastically trying to fight their way out of that bottom, and that's going to just add to the unpredictability. So I feel like this is perhaps the most dangerous stint, this first one, because just anything can happen out there. So keep your wits about you and hope that you can avoid that cut line. Now, don't forget, it doesn't mean necessarily that you're automatically out, because we might still have the ability to save someone down the line. So you got to keep your hopes up. And fans, if you do spy somebody that you don't want to die, keep them in your mind, because you might have the ability to save them from this killer puppet that we've got in the background.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of just the way he looks, the way he talks, the way his pure attitude. I'm not really a fan of right now. Someone's attitude who I have been a fan of this year, we can see him also Monday Night Racing. Mario Miranda just shot up to P2 here in qualifying, but everyone is chasing Brandon Hoff. I think starting top 5 here is going to be essential, because not only at a track like Groovy Hollow, only 7/8 mile in length, we are using the modern day NASCAR Cup Series next gen machines. And that means that especially at short tracks, everyone's known, especially on Twitter X, these cars are hard to pass in at short tracks. So not only do you only have 30 laps, not only are there no cautions during the stage, but even on top of that, you have some cars that are difficult to make the moves in here at this level of racing.
Yeah, which are also probably going to get a little bit loose at times as well. So yeah, it's going to be tricky. The main thing, probably going to see people try and ride that middle lane. Especially since there are no cautions, we have to think about the tires as well. So you do have to manage them. Now, it does make it predictable because everybody's in the same boat. And so you're not guessing on whether or not you should try and preserve them or charge hard. But you still have to have that ability in this car to really kind of take it easy, put a little less steering angle into it to keep them preserved up until the end of the stint.
The only thing predictable tonight is going to be the unpredictability of these drivers fighting for survival tonight on a short track in these NASCAR next-gen cars on the 7/8 mile track. Qualifying starting to wind down now. We are under 1 minute to go to determine who is going to be towards the back of this track. We will go through your entire starting order momentarily once we have it all set. But for fans of guys like Avery Schwab, Joseph Kraut, Gavin Newton, I'd be concerned right now. All towards the bottom of the pack. We are going to have 24 cars, it looks like, on the grid. So, I don't know. This is going to be tough if you're qualifying in the back. We're seeing top speeds of 23.818 seconds. Dead last right now is a 24.709. So, we're within 1 second from first to last right now.
Yeah, I mean, you expect that at a short track that it's going to be tight and small margins. But one thing I also want to stress to our audience is don't forget, you don't have to donate necessarily those larger numbers. If you don't have a lot to give, everything counts here. This isn't like trick-or-treating where everybody doesn't want to get the Tootsie Rolls in their thing. Just $1, it definitely goes towards a lot in helping children be able to have a good time and really take their mind off of things. But it looks like the qualifying has finished, so it's set now, Devin.
We know where our 24 drivers are going to begin this Groovy Hollow evening in search of survival. Let's take a look at our starting grid tonight. Those at the front are definitely going to be in much better shape than those in the back. We will eliminate 4 drivers every 30 laps, and there will be no cautions during those stages. Quick time tonight at 23.818. It comes from Brandon Houff. He will start on pole. Alongside him will be Mario Miranda. It's the real-life driver, Ryan Vargas. He will kick things off at P3 at a 23.888 alongside Presley Sora in the number 75 machine. Kicking off row number 3, Parker Retzlaff, Real World Xfinity Series driver. He will be driving his normal number 31 machine, sponsored by Funkaway, and also driver for Jordan Anderson Racing, alongside another Real World driver in the number 99, Brendan Poole. Christopher Tate, Lawless Allen, they make up row number 4. Tim Combs and John Garrett round out our top 10 here, Joe.
John Gutkunst will be 11th, followed by Matthew Stallnecht there in 12th spot. Then on the next row, Rhett Tucker will be on the inside in lucky number 13, and Joshua Slate starts 14th. Malachi Drake will be the P15 starter. David Schildhaus in 16th position. Thad Moffitt will be in 17th, and then you've got Zachary Doust in 18th spot. Row 10 is Brandon Paunetto and Avery Schwab, and then you get into that danger zone there, Devin.
Yeah, this is not where you want to be. Joseph Kraut will start 21st. Gavin Newton in the Mummy Machine, he will start 22nd. No qualifying time for Dalton Kilroe or Dale Tanhart. Those bottom four are the first four set to be eliminated here in Groovy Hollow 3 as we fight for survival. Keep those donations coming in, $271 already in charitable donations for Extra Life, the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Be sure to keep on donating, and we will find out exactly who will survive and be the victor of Groovy Hollow number 3. Joe, before we take that green flag, your keys, not necessarily to winning quite yet. Just give me the keys to surviving here this first stage or two.
Not be the wounded gazelle, essentially. You don't want to be at the back. So whatever you can do to get yourself that track position, that's going to be important, but also just try and preserve yourself, especially if you're up in the spots such as, within, I'd say, the top 10. You're pretty darn safe by that point. So don't fight each other as much. Kind of try and work together if you're up towards the top to keep from falling victim.
And safe, I feel like, is a very relative word at this point. Be sure to keep those donations coming to Extra Life at Children's Miracle Network charity. Go to groovyhollow.com right now and donate. There's a few incentives for you. If you donate up to $55, a free copy of the NASCAR 75th magazine that will mail immediately. Then $75 a full year subscription to NASCAR Pole Position magazine. And if you donate up to $250, you will get an Out of the Groove or Daily Downforce diecast. Almost identical to those that you're going to see in tonight's race. We got both those cards, I believe, in the field here tonight. So be sure to keep an eye out for those two. You might be looking to grab one of those with your donation. We're just about ready to go here in Groovy Hollow number 3, a fight for survival. It's a Stoops Pursuit type race. Every 30 laps, we eliminate 4 drivers. Brandon Houff on the inside in the number 77 machine. Mario Miranda on the outside. At Groovy Hollow, we are underway for Groovy Hollow 3. Alf was gunning at using that bottom line, but to no avail. Mario Miranda will lead lap number 1. A little bit on the loose side there for the 31 of Parker Retzlaff. He moves way up the track, and Christopher Tate in the Out of the Groove number 17 machine's looking to play in the top 5.
Yeah, very good catch there by the 31. Whoa, and now it's the turn of Sora to get loose. Chases it up the hill, just brushes the wall, but Presley is able to get back in it. Like we said before, it's all about just trying to limit those mistakes. I'm not shocked at all that Miranda was able to come out ahead here at the start, though.
Yeah, Mario Miranda seems to have a way of doing that. Race in, race out. And tonight he's driving the number 6 machine sponsored by National Metering. And that Ford Mustang back on that yellow line certainly looks fast right now. But you got to look back at who is in the back right now. Brandon Paunetto has moved back there. Zachary Douse is back there. Kilroe has not been able to move up right now, and so troubles for a lot of these guys in the back.
Yeah, and Kilroe is, he's already 2 seconds off of Dale Tanhart, so it's going to be tough for him to try and play catch-up, especially since there's not going to be any cautions that'll help him get back up there. Meanwhile, remember how I said those in the mid-pack maybe want to try and work together, especially if they're a little bit more safe. There's actually more battling, I'd say, up at the front of the field than there is down where the drivers need to be worried.
And there was significant trouble for Joshua Slate. He is now already 6 seconds behind the field. 14 seconds behind your leader, Mario Miranda, and it's already starting to get a little bit chippy up here as you get a couple pro drivers trying to mix it up with two of the best in the sim. Miranda and Hauf out front, and side by side behind them, Ryan Vargas and Parker Retzlaff.
Yeah, Retzlaff there down on the bottom side in the 31 now, trying to see if he can get this off of Vargas. See, like I said, the middle line, probably the place that you want to be, and that's what Vargas is running right now. This track tends to favor that high side a little better, which makes passing underneath very difficult, but it looks like Vargas is up to the task because he just made his way by.
Vargas trying to find his way around. Retzlaff right now in third. Vargas driving his real-world sponsor, Critical Path Security, into the number 26 machine. And on top of that, Vargas has been moving back and forth from America to Europe to race in the NASCAR Euro Series for about the past month. A great opportunity for Vargas. And right behind him, Christopher Tate driving that out of the groove number 17 machine. But all eyes up front, and Mario Miranda continues to lead the point, and they are safely avoiding elimination for our first stage break at lap number 30.
Yeah, and a little bit surprising to see Parker as aggressive as he is, since he is so far up. If you spin out, you're almost guaranteed to head to the back, as we now check out Schwab a little bit farther down the order here. And this is the drivers that are, I think, closer. Yeah, this is closer to that cutoff line, because Schwab is in 19th. Remember, 20th is the first one that is guaranteed not to go.
Yeah, this is right on the outside, looking to get eliminated almost. Avery Schwab in this number 49 LA Productions Ford Mustang gets himself just one more spot as he got around the Petty's Garage Camaro of Thad Moffitt, and Moffitt now under attack from Kilroy.
Yeah, I thought that Kilroy would not be able to catch up, but what do I know? I guess my crystal ball is broken here, because he has already overtaken Moffitt. Now he's looking to get one more, as Schwab doesn't have much defense.
Kilroy, a man on a mission right now, because he does not want to get taken away by that scary little puppet thing. And so the Scene Vault number 73 machine now gets himself further and further away from that elimination spot. Now moving forward also, Brandon Ponetto. He's on the inside here at Thad Moffitt and trying to move that number 78 Blaster Camaro forward. Also,
Joseph Kraut had a big slip coming on the apron there, so I get the sense that he might be in big trouble. He's fallen down to 23rd. So we definitely got a few drivers that are in serious trouble.
One driver will already be eliminated. It looks like Joshua Slade has taken his number 19 machine off track, and he will be the first driver to say sayonara and meet himself fate with the scary Puppet Master.
So going to have to make sure that he doesn't wind up playing a game that he doesn't want to here. But we are only halfway through this stint as well. So there's a lot that could happen at this stage. There's Retzlaff now up to second place. He's passed Hauf and is going to try and chase down Miranda.
Both Retzlaff and Hauf using kind of that further outside lane as we're nearing the halfway point in stage number 1. Remember, no cautions allowed here in any of these stages because the Puppet Master says no. He's looking for chaos. He has not found it yet, though, and these drivers up front continue to try to move their way forward. One driver I'm almost surprised by had that little bit of a slide. I'm wondering if the tires are looking a little demonic right now. Presley Sora still stuck in that 7th position.
Yeah, and he lost spots early as well, remember. He started to slide a little bit. These cars kind of known for that, where they don't run out of tread, but they can overheat for sure, and it can be a problem. So with his slipping and sliding earlier on, I wonder if that's what's affecting him, that he's just still trying to get a hold of things.
A quick look back to the back of the pack. We have a battle for the 21st position. That's the first car out at the end of the stage. Thad Moffitt trying to put on a little bit of defense against the AE engine Chevy Camaro, the 5-car. Zachary Douts there right on the rear bumper of Moffitt. And some issues there for Joseph Kraut. The number 44 machine was right in there. Now the across-the-board Chevy Camaro has lost about a second on those two. His chances of survival are starting to dwindle.
Not looking good, that is for sure. So if one of them can get this position, let's not forget, if anybody else has a spin or a wreck in front of them, that means they're suddenly above the cut line. So it is worth it for these two to try and fight this hard, even though it is 21st and they're going to be out. Slate, though, looks to be gone from this one, as I think he must have already wrecked out. Didn't see what happened, but he's disconnected.
His soul already taken by the scary Puppet Master. Moffitt and Douse continue to go door to door as these two are fighting for the first car to be eliminated. And they're now 2 seconds behind Avery Schwab for the first save position. And now, I must say, I might have to change my favorite paint schemes. Remember, you guys can vote on what your favorite paint scheme is tonight. It's hard to beat anything Petty Blue like that Petty Garage number 43, but I'm loving this AE Engine number 5 because it is a throwback, I believe, to the Alan Kowicki number 7 that won at my home track Phoenix Raceway into the first ever Polish victory lap as he gets a little squirrely off the bottom. He's going to allow Moffitt to drive away, but these two still in fierce competition for elimination.
Yeah, so that gives the advantage to Thad, at least for now, but we're looking a little bit ahead of them to show you the gap back to those cars from Avery Schwab. That is how much distance they have to make up. And now they're on lap 19, so it is creeping towards the end of this, and unfortunately, the end is probably going to be a little bit grisly for at least 3 drivers right now.
Trouble for the 43. Thad Moffitt sent it in deep, and now he will slide behind Kraut. The 44 machine slides forward and is trying to find a way to get up to Douse. Again, if they can find their way to the front of these bottom 4, they just have a shot of someone wrecking and being able to move forward in this event. 10 laps to go till the souls of 4 of these drivers are forsaken forever.
Well,
was that too much? I'm sorry.
No. I think that's a good way to put it here. I definitely wouldn't want to know what's going to happen with this puppet because we don't know what he's going to be doing with these drivers and how he's going to be removing them. But up here, a little bit closer to the middle, so Paunetto there in the 78 is dangerously close to that line. He's in 18th position. And actually, I think I just saw Retzlaff took the lead away, or is trying to.
Door to door, Mario Miranda, Parker Retzlaff trying to fight for the Stage 1 victory. You earn nothing out of winning a stage except for the guarantee that you will not be eliminated on this go-around. Put that funk away, number 31 up front. First time that Miranda has been challenged and taken the lead from here tonight.
Parker's got a really good car. This does not bode well for the others because if it continues to be strong all throughout the race, then that means that he's going to be very safe throughout most of it. If he can just easily move his way up to the front the way he did. There weren't many chances or times that we saw that he was kind of under threat. He had a little bit of a hiccup once with a slide, but other than that, he's just kind of chopping them off one by one.
Biggest mover in this race so far, up 7 positions from shotgun on the field. Dale Tanhart in the number 81 Daily Downforce Chevy Camaro. He's moved himself into the 17th position and out of elimination. Another big mover is directly in front of him, but he's going the wrong way right now. The number 25 Auto Parkett Chevy of Lawless Allen. He started this race in 8th, and now he has bumped his way back to 16th. Not a good look here for the number 25 machine because after this lap 30, we're going to eliminate 4 more after that. And so that will keep Lawless Allen near that cutoff line if we get that caution here soon on lap 30.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to be maybe forward thinking a little bit. If you're down here towards the back, you might be good on one of them, but later on, if you can't find that pace, then you're in serious trouble. And it doesn't seem like he's dropping Tanhart or Paunetto right now. He's just kind of stuck with him hovering in his mirrors.
Another soul forever taken into the gates of the Puppet Master. Joseph Kraut has taken his number 44 across the board Camaro to pit road and into the deep abyss that comes with it. He is eliminated from tonight's contention for the victory in Groovy Hollow 3. That leaves Zachary Douse and Thad Moffitt, 2 drivers left that are going to be on the track when the elimination comes here in just a matter of laps.
It is certainly looking a bit dire now at this stage for those two because Zach is a full 3 seconds off of Schwab. He's just continued to drop. Can't seem to keep up with him at this stage. There's no way he's going to do it in 2 laps unless somebody in front of him wrecks now.
Closing laps here. And we will determine who will be eliminated. Doused, Moffitt. Right now, they are nearly 3 seconds behind Avery Schwab and that number 49 LA Productions Ford Mustang. But everybody is looking ahead, trying to catch the real-world NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Parker Retzlaff. Now over a half-second advantage over Mario Miranda to the line.
Yeah, up to lap 30 at this stage and just cruising around at the front. The 31 has definite control of this thing. For some reason, I mean, call it intuition. I'm just getting the inkling that maybe the power of friendship and community here in racing could save one of them.
That was really sappy. Stage 1 comes to a close, 30 laps down, and it's time to eliminate. I almost got dark right there. Eliminate 4 drivers. We know for a fact that Joseph.
You know the game. You know the rules.
Hang on there, Discount Chucky. Before you go off in people, chat. I think we still have at least some control over the iRacing server, enough to save maybe at least one driver. I'll put a poll in the chat. Vote right now. Which of these bottom 4 drivers should we try to save? It's all we can do, but at least it's something.
What? How did you find a loophole?
Dude, this is NASCAR. There's always a gray area.
I don't
So
like
got a
that
poll.
guy. Enough people like cut me off in my daily life. That was freaky. I didn't like that. I was about to say that anyway for him. It's kind of rude, but it looks like Eric at least still had some sort of control over this dream. So I think we're going to save one of these drivers. It's either going to be Zachary Doust or Thad Moffitt, it looks like. So a pair of throwback cars here, guys. You guys in the chat right now, get that poll ready and choose who you want to keep on racing here in this event.
And you called me sappy for saying that we weren't going to be able to save someone.
Gentlemen, I didn't mean to jump in here and cut you guys off like the puppet, but we do have the chat voting, and it right now is looking like a landslide. This is brutal, difficult decision that needs to be made, but the chat, they are not pulling any punches here. It looks like Thad Moffitt will survive. I have just enough control over here that I think Thad Moffitt will be okay, so Zachary, unfortunately, will be the 3rd driver eliminated in addition to the 2 that have already disconnected. So craziness here at Groovy Hollow. 3 souls already claimed by the evil puppet.
Amazing. The real-life driver puts to waste one of the title sponsors. That's just how cutthroat it is sometimes, guys. So say goodbye, Zachary Doust and the AE Engine number 5 machine. Forsaken soul forever. He will not continue on here in Groovy Hollow number 3.
I mean, the guy had a tuffet. I mean, you can't get rid of a guy with a tuffet.
So the AE machine. That was actually kind of clever. That took me a second. So goodbye into the deep abyss, into the Groovy Hollow infield. Thad Moffitt will live to fight another day, but he will be at the very back of the pack. We're going to go to lap number 60 now, guys. And I think the Puppet Master is going to come back and slice the tires of 4 more drivers. I was going to say different, like a body part or something there, but I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. So.
I think that works. Yeah, that's a good slasher reference right there.
Slash the tires. We're gonna do that one instead. I was thinking a different one, but I don't. Eric doesn't pay me anything to get his channel torn down, so we're not gonna do that right now. But big sequence here on pit road, guys. Mario Miranda, your new leader here ahead of Parker Redslap. He takes away the lead on pit road.
I noticed that, and it was extremely close. I mean, there was inches between them at the line, so he barely snuck out. I get the sense that he was helped a lot by the fact that he did have that top spot in comparison.
One? Fine. Let them keep living their miserable lives. The other 3 will fit nicely into my collection.
That low.
You're right. He is annoying cutting us off like that.
I'm just glad I'm not in this race because that would be creepy if you had like that. So imagine you're racing the sim and that just grabs on your leg at your throttle pedal and pulls. Anyway, so what we're gonna do here now, guys, is prepare for this next 30 lap stint. We're not saying 30 laps of green here. Lap number 60, we eliminate 3 more drivers. If Eric still has a little bit of a control over this stream, we might be able to vote and save another driver here once we get to the conclusion of stage number 2. But we're doing this for 120 laps, guys. So every 30 laps, we're going to take away at least 3 drivers, it looks like.
Yeah, and now at this stage, it's Moffitt, Schwab, Paunetto. Well, and if we can't save all 4, or one of the 4, then it looks like Gavin Newton is very close to it. He is under threat, so watch out. We'll have to wait and see. Remember, it's those 4 that we got to try and save here, at least one of them. They're doubled up. Let's see how much more of a hurry up we're getting to the cars up at the front.
The only thing the intensity is going to do is continue to grow and grow here as we continue to fight for survival in Groovy Hollow 3, raising money for a great charity, Extra Life, a Children's Miracle Network charity. Go to groovyhollowraceway.com right now and donate. We're seeing our goal continue to rise. We're looking for $2,500 or more to give to a great cause. Remember the incentives here. $55 gives you a free copy of the NASCAR 75th magazine, $75 for a free full-year subscription to the NASCAR Pole Position magazine, $250 for an Out of the Groove or daily downforce diecast. Stage 2 underway, and boy, was he snoozing. Mario Miranda says goodbye to Parker Retzlaff.
He does, and to the degree that Half is already into second place. Vargas going to try the high side, but that's not getting him anywhere. Already, whoa!
Somehow saves that car from falling into the abyss down the front straightaway, but he is plummeting backwards deep outside the top 10 now.
Oh, this is a nightmare scenario for Brandon Half. He's got to really get on top of things, and his tires have got to be in bad condition after that. He's got to cool them down, all while keeping a whole bunch of hungry drivers off of him. Look at that. That was magnificent.
Tremendous save, because there's almost no way that car doesn't end up in the graveyard, but this is not where you want to be, stuck in the middle, 3 wide at Groovy Hollow. And how about that number 25 machine, Lawless Allen? He was towards the very back and now bangs the door of Half. He's able to get back up the track and is able to fend off these two, but that 25 car, he was almost near elimination mark last stage, and now he's stuck middle 3 wide himself.
Well,
issues for Thad Moffitt.
Yeah, I was just going to say, unfortunately, it seems like one of our victims is tripped and the killer is almost upon them, because Moffitt has been off. Paunetto also hit the inside wall, too. So there is the problem with the number 43, but Paunetto on almost the same corner exited off to the stage left, essentially.
So slice the tires on the number 43 Petty's Garage Chevy Camaro as he will get taken into the hole by the Puppet Master. Loose off of 1 and 2. One more car eliminated. Thanks, chat, for voting for him to survive. He lasted like 2 laps. Onward we go now on lap number 41. Miranda is still holding off Parker Retzlaff, but he continues to close in. Vargas has moved to 3rd. And how about that number 7 Bologna Burger? David Schillhouse, he's in 4th.
Yeah, very nice job from him. Everybody knows, if you've watched a horror movie, Devin, it's everybody's favorite character dies first. So
this is true.
Yeah. Just going by horror movie rules here. But look up here at the front. Retzlaff not only back into that second place, but he's starting to close in more and more on Miranda.
Vargas in 3rd. He's getting fought from behind. David Schillhouse is closing in. Christopher Tate is still part of this group as well. Have yet to talk about the O2 machine, though. The Toxic Waste Sour Candy Camaro of Matt Stolnick. He's in the 6th position and still a part of this hunt right now.
Yeah, started from 12th, so he's gained a number of them himself. Have you ever had the Toxic Waste Candy? Because I have. It's the only, yes, it's the only sour candy that I could not gut through. That's how difficult that stuff is.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know if I could handle that then. That's actually, so does it actually taste like toxic waste? As a road course fan yourself, I'm sure you know what that tastes like.
I have no idea what that tastes like, but all I can tell you is there's certain tastes that are like, oh, well, this is, not fun, but like it's still an interesting taste. This was just unpleasant.
Well, that's a little bit disappointing then, but at the very least, you know that it's a battle, and I like sour. I might have to try that actually, but right now Miranda is getting all that he can take from Parker Retzlaff. That number 31 machine starting to move back forward. Is Matt Stolnick watching basketball right now? He's in 6th. Move forward.
Watch.
Look at racing.
Watch is a very loose definition of that, I think. But
it's opening night. Who cares? This is Groovy Hollow.
Yeah, I think the race is more important. But look at him have to stab at the wheel there a little bit. He's trying to keep from losing it. It's going to be something where he does have to keep focus all through. So far, I'm impressed with those up at the front. Not seeing too much craziness this time around. Everybody's just kind of playing it real cool.
Stolnick tried to take a few stabs at that number 99 powerhouse and Circle B diecast Chevy of Brendan Poole. Unable to pull the trigger, though, and it slides back into the 7th position. And let's go back to the 13th position now. A pair of guys that were towards that cutoff line in stage number 1. Lawless Allen, and on top of that, Dalton Kilroy in the scene vault number 73. They've now advanced to 13th and 14th. They are battling each other tooth and nail right now and have themselves a good 2 or 3 slots before you get to our first 4 that we're going to eliminate.
Yeah, and 17th place is that cutoff line, so watch that as they go down the backstretch side by side. Kilroy with a nice little run, but he's going all the way to the bottom. Again, I feel like maybe going a little bit higher might be the way to go, and that's another reason why the more you crank on this wheel, the looser these cars off the corner.
I think we're getting word now here into the booth. There's something coming out of Groovy Hollow through all that pavement right now. I think the hands of the Puppet Master are starting to grab some of these tires. We've seen a few slashed already, like with Thad Moffitt going into the wall. That car's still trying to survive, but we've seen so many cars get loose, like Hoff, like Moffitt, and like we saw right there with Kilroy. I think some spooky stuff is happening here on this Halloween evening.
Ooh, and it just did for Ryan Vargas as well as he kind of moved backwards. Poor Moffitt is actually getting lapped by all of them now. They do have a spare car, which he took pretty quickly, but he's 4 laps down, actually 5 from the leader, and just not in a good spot. Here goes a nice little move from Vargas down to the inside of Schildhouse in the meantime.
Vargas, who, for some reason, I don't know why the Puppet Master, not a fan of critical path security because they do a lot of great work. He actually ripped the wrap off the car inside the sim. We're working on trying to get that car rewrapped with all of our virtual tools, but for now, that number 26 critical path security Chevy Camaro still has himself way up in the field.
And this is one of the closest kind of groups that we have as well. This is where things can go awry quickly. Because, yes, you're fighting all these other cars, but when you're in a pack like this, if someone in front of you has an issue, you got to be wary not to get caught up in that. So keep your eyes forward, keep focused forward, and try to be aggressive while at the same time anticipate if you can see some sort of problem bubbling up.
Well, I don't know how good of a time these drivers are having with their souls nearly forsaken and at the mercy right now of this Puppet Master, but we are having a good time with this entertainment. Hope you are as well. Remember, we are raising money for Extra Life, a Children's Miracle Network charity. So if you go to GroovyHollowRaceway.com right now, at the very top of the page, there's a link to donate right now, and we have a few incentives for you as well. $55 gets you a free copy of the NASCAR 75th magazine, a $75 donation for a free full-year subscription to the NASCAR Pole Position magazine, and $250 for the Out of the Groove or Daily Downforce diecast that we've seen in the real world on race cars here in 2022 and 2023. Of course, you don't need to just send out that much money. If you just want to send some sort of charitable donation of any number, you can feel free to go on to Extra Life and go to GroovyHollowRaceway.com and make that donation. And then on top of that also as well, I think there's a few things going on right now with Daily Downforce and Out of the Groove with the 100 YouTube subscribers as well.
Oh, very nice. And yeah, look at that. 1,000 subs on YouTube. So a huge thank you to the fans. And look at that. 4 different diecasts that you can get. I'm actually very jealous of that.
Got Toxic Waste on there too as well.
Yeah, there you go. Don't put it in your mouth though.
Some really, really great merch right there, whether it be the hat, the stickers, the podcast party shirt. I love the graphic on that. And of course, Pole Position magazine there as well. And of course, a chance to win all 4 of those diecasts as well. The Out of the Groove diecast that we saw last year as well. The Toxic Waste Hazardous Sour Candy. And probably one of my favorite paint schemes of the Cup Series of recent time. That Daily Downforce Out of the Groove kind of YouTube collaborator entry, if you will, on that number 78 car, BJ McLeod. That was a really, really good-looking car on track as well.
I agree. Just beautiful gradient there from the front to the back, and excellent looking car. These 124 diecasts probably going to go quickly, I imagine, because I certainly would like one myself, but I don't think they'll go as quickly as the drivers are about to go because we got 2 laps.
And hey, you're guaranteed one of those diecasts if you happen to go and donate $250 to Extra Life, a Children's Miracle Network charity. That will actually ship later on in December to you, so you will have that kind of towards the top of the new year as well. So kind of a nice Christmas gift, if you will, if you go ahead and you donate that $250. Again, you don't need to donate any of those really high numbers. If you just want to give any sort of charitable donation, that is much, much appreciated for a great cause. Glad to be able to fight for them and all the work that they are doing here with the Groovy Hollow 3 here in 2023. You're not really missing anything out on track as Parker Retzlaff continues to grow his lead over Mario Miranda, David Schildhaus in third, Vargas in fourth, Brendan Poole in fifth, Christopher Tate has slid into the sixth position, Stolneck in seventh, Halp has clawed his way back from 11th to 8th after his slip-off on the restart. Haven't talked about Malachi Drake, he's in 9th, Presley Sora in 10th, Rhett Tucker 11th, and Combs in 12th, Lawless Allen 13th, Dalton Kilroe in 14th, John Garrett 15th, John Gutkinski in 16th, Dale Tanhart 17th, and now we get to our 4 drivers that are on the verge of elimination. Avery Schwab, Brandon Palnetto, Gavin Newton, and Thad Moffitt, 5 laps down right now, are set to be eliminated by the Grand Puppet Master himself.
And Schwab was a recent one. He unfortunately got passed by Tanhart very close to the end and made a sort of a Hail Mary move into 1 and 2 to see if he could go by him. It just didn't quite work out. So Avery was over the cut line, and then right at the end, he lost out.
So Gars will hit pit road. I don't see the creepy puppet coming back right now. So maybe, well, I don't know. If Eric got a hold of his stream, we might be able to actually have the rest of this broadcast and have all these drivers competing here at Groovy Hollow and just put on a good show for all you viewers.
Why you keep trying to save them? We all meet our maker in the end. Why not jump to the front of the line? Your souls are mine.
Guys, the chat is now voting on who to save. Of course, that puppet has to cut us off at the worst possible time. Broadcast is back up. Unfortunately, the night is about to come to an end for 3 of our contenders. Gentlemen, I guess when you've raced in some of the top levels of NASCAR, that name recognition goes a long way. Despite being, I think, was it 4 or 5 laps down? It
5
looks
laps
like
down.
The chat is voting to keep Thad Moffitt's night going a little bit longer. Refuse to put him out of his misery.
No one said that he has to complete all 120 laps, right? He just has to be the last one standing.
Exactly. He's just got to hope for a hurricane to blow through Groovy Hollow. Spoiler alert, Groovy Hollow is not on the coast, so good luck with that one. But no, great racing. Great job, you two in the booth. I want to shout out while I'm here real quick, once again, the Groovy donation goal. The link has been in the chat. It's in the description. We have raised nearly $500 so far for Extra Life. Keep them coming. Devin and Joe have done a great job reminding you guys that there are die casts available if you have that much to donate. There are magazines. There are other prizes available if you're able to donate past a certain threshold. But again, that's not the point. The point is any little bit helps. It's all going towards a great cause. So if you have the ability to, we highly encourage you to donate. That is at the core of what we are trying to do here tonight. But gentlemen, back to you guys. We're about ready for another restart here. 4 more drivers in the back of the field need to light a fire on them. They need to get going.
Well, Eric, right now, I'm just glad that you still have a little bit of control over this broadcast from this freaky little puppet thing. But it looks like we're going to continue narrowing down drivers, and we are going to have a duel to decide who will be the last soul remaining here in Groovy Hollow 3. Parker Retzlaff continues to lead the way, but on pit road, David Schildhaus has moved his way into the second position in that Bologna Burger Chevy Camaro. Miranda has slid back to third, Vargas in fourth, Poole in fifth, Tate, Stolneck, Half, Drake, and Sora, your top 10 off of pit road. And so we continue to get closer and closer to eliminating drivers. Our next 4 set to be eliminated: John Garrett, John Gutkins, Dale Tanhart, and 5 laps down, Thad Moffitt.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the sense that Thad is like that one character that you always see just, you think they're dead, and then somehow they manage to scrape through. And I guess he's kind of been doing that. We'll see how many times he can get away with that this time, because eventually we're probably going to be hitting some more well-known well, I shouldn't say more well-known, but just as well-known drivers. And then that is going to be an interesting toss-up to see who can kind of go up against that number 43. We're already too wide and ready to go. And like we found out last time, if you're down close to that cut line, you are not safe. You have to push now.
2 stages complete. We eliminate 4 more at the conclusion of this next 30-lap stint. That will happen at lap number 90. Now, you got to remember, though, on this last restart, though, Parker Retzlaff, he restarted second next to Mario Miranda, and he was a snoozing. So right now, if you're David Schildhouse, you got to be considering, hey, I'm ready to pounce right now and try to take away this lead. But with Retzlaff now in control of this race, it's going to be hard to try to track him down.
And we had a problem for Brennan Poole. He just spun on the apron. And, okay, so we've extended the caution so that he can get back with him. So that's good to see. 99 is back up where he was. Not sure what caused that, but boy, I suddenly saw him down at the bottom of the track.
We continue to see the arms of the Puppet Master breaking through the grounds of Groovy Hollow and trying to slash these tires on these cars. We've seen so many of these machines get loose, get wild, and get moved out of the way here. Chaos, chaos, chaos. I think that the Puppet Master is dissatisfied with the lack of wrecking, and he's starting to put matters into his own hands as if he wasn't already doing that.
Yeah, so far, Schildhouse we've seen is looking pretty good. Retzlaff. Vargas is a bit of a mixed bag. At times he's had issues, but he's back up to 4th, so I don't know how to read on him. But those are some of the drivers that I think are probably going to be sitting in a good position if they can keep this up, as we're going to go around for another lap.
And it seems like the Puppet Master just continues to find ways to wreak havoc on Groovy Hollow 3, whether it be on the stream, whether it be, I think the entirety. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to Eric's channel after the race and it's just videos of the Puppet Master like twerking and dancing and like doing TikTok dances, because he seems to have control over this entire night, from trying to reach out and spin these cars out, creating chaos without any cautions, eliminating the souls of our contestants, and playing with our stream. So a lot of craziness happening on this spooky night here in Groovy Hollow 3. Ready to go back green, though, and try to figure out what is our next set of drivers to be eliminated. Retzlaff leads the way alongside Schildhouse. The 4 contestants with a shot at losing their souls: John Garrett, John Gunnikist, Dale Tanhart, Thad Moffitt. The iRacing pace sedan ready to strip on off and slide back onto pit road. Parker Retzlaff in control of the field and takes on off. Stage 3 underway from Groovy Hollow.
I think Miranda was definitely watching a little bit better this time, and he's going to hold off Schildhouse down into the first turn, or will he? The 7's starting to creep back on him, but I don't think he's got the speed. In fact, he looked a little loose there off the corner.
A little bit of trouble for Brennan Poole. He's in that 5th position trying to hold back Christopher Tate and Brandon Houff. Issues for Schildhouse. He was up on the wall. This ain't Homestead, young man. He slides back to 3rd.
Yeah, Poole now back to 5th as well, as he continues to fight with Vargas there on the high side. He's also got Tate behind him there in that yellow machine, who finds himself maybe a little too close to the wall on exit. He has to get out of it. Now Brandon Houff is getting into it.
Pick out that 99, Brendan Poole, right on the rear bumper of Ryan Vargas, trying to get around that critical pass security Chevy Camaro, but to no avail so far. Stallneck almost gets into the rear bumper there of Houff. They're all lined up bumper to bumper here throughout the top 10.
Yeah, notice how much more compact it looks. Last time, things spread apart on both of the starts and the restart pretty quickly. And yet in this one, now everybody, I think, has a fire lit under them. They're all trying to avoid falling a little bit too far back, and it's looking like it's getting harder and harder to make up positions now.
Real quick, let's take a look back to P10. This is someone who we really haven't talked about at all tonight. Malachi Drake making the move into the 9th position around the outside of Matt Stallneck. That dogleg media number 63 continues to pulse his way forward and now finds himself in the top 10 after starting this race in P15.
Ooh, it's not looking good for the 88 of Combs.
Oh, contact with him and Presley Soar. The 75 car bumps into the wall, and Malachi Drake goes backwards as well. They're still 10th and 11th, but boy, I tell you what, Presley Soar has been through the ringer here tonight, that number 75 Lionel Racing machine.
And that also upset a couple cars behind. Lawless Allen got the worst of it and is now down to 16th. In fact, I don't see Moffitt out on track, so I think we've lost one of our heroes back there.
So another driver's soul lost forever. John Garrett, he started on the outside looking in and now has that number 66 Fort Worth screen printing Camaro just ahead of the cutoff. He got around the 88 of Tim Combs, so he has a gap of one car right now behind him to try to stay alive in this race.
Combs was that one I was just getting ready to talk about that got kind of loose and fell back. He's got to be thanking his lucky stars that things kind of worked out in his favor, but just barely. I don't think he's out of the woods, and he's going to have to keep pushing hard here because we've already seen you could lose this spot pretty quickly. So we've got, I think, 16 to go. Yeah, 16 to go.
Taking a look at our Groovy goal right now, we're up to $455.88. Guys, continue making those donations. Thank you so much to everybody who has donated so far, trying to meet our $2,500 goal. Remember, guys, you can go ahead and go to GroovyHollowRaceway.com. Donate now for Extra Life, a Children's Miracle Network charity. Meanwhile, for P2, David Schildhouse trying to say this is no baloney at all. Trying to get around Miranda, a little bit too loose there on the inside. Couldn't make the move happen, but he continues to stalk that number 6 machine.
Got to be careful if he has more side-by-side racing. You can see Brandon Hauff behind him in that 77 getting ever closer, and that could make life very interesting for the three of them. But I got to give credit to Miranda here. Great defense, because he's not really falling off of Retzlaff too quickly, even though they have been battling.
Miranda's national metering Ford Mustang has been inside the top 5 for the entirety of this race so far. Miranda, one of the drivers you can catch here on Podium eSports and Monday Night Racing as well. He's trying to catch up to the real-life NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Parker Retzlaff, driving his real-world Funkaway Jordan Anderson racing paint scheme in that Chevy Camaro. And right now, Joe, he is absolutely dominating. Now has eclipsed a 1-second lead over here, Miranda and Schildhouse.
Yeah, I think Parker's pace in the warm-up is really bearing out here. There you see him on the screen now in that number 31. I kind of pointed him out during that warm-up saying, well, that's usually a good sign, but you can't always put too much weight into practice. But boy, today, has he backed that up in a big way.
Battle for second on again. Schildhouse diving deep into the inside of 3 and 4, but just does not have the momentum to really contest with that number 6 machine of Mario Miranda. Still trying to find a way forward, though, as Schildhouse continues his attack to stay inside this top 3. Right now, if you look at the 4 best drivers in this race, right now I think they're sitting 1, 2, 3, 4, and might be our final group of drivers to decide who's going to win this race.
I think at this stage, it looks like Tim Coombs is actually on the hunt here a little bit, because he's got John Garrett very close in front of him, and Garrett at times seems a little bit out of sorts. So we might have a change down there amongst those cars on the bubble a little bit. But got to watch out from there. You can see, yeah, now here is the 66 versus the 88 of Tim.
Coombs right now doing a great job in that number 88. The Iceberg Chevy Camaro, because he has himself a 1-spot gap. He's the first car that will stay in the race, because John Gaudicust right now in that number 92 SponsorMummy.com Ford Mustang, he is the first car set to be eliminated alongside Lawless Allen, Dale Tanhart, and now guaranteed out of this race, Thad Moffitt.
Really unfortunate there for him after he was actually doing pretty well for someone who is supposed to be eliminated twice and managed to get the popular vote. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, as we watch the 81 of Tanhart actually close to being lapped. No, he's still got about half a lap ahead, I think, at this stage. So won't be lapped quite yet. Here we see the 73 of Kilrow in the meantime, working on Malachi Drake. This is for 11th.
Kilroy's done a great job in this race, because he was one of those drivers kind of set towards the back that we thought might get eliminated early. He's advanced himself up to the 12th position, attacking Malachi Drake for P11. And all you have to do is survive, right? One car is going to survive. As long as you're not in the bottom 4, you're going to be one of those guys. So Kilroy doing his duty right now to try to keep that Scene Vault Camaro up ahead of that elimination line and just continue pulsing forward.
I think things have sorted out up at the very front right now because they know that they don't need to worry as much. But those at the back definitely feel maybe just a little bit more frantic. It looks like they're pushing pretty darn hard. But the closest fights that we've got are in that mid-pack around 5th and 6th. We've got 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th all right amongst each other, clumped in a group too.
Taking a look at that number 99 machine. Brendan Poole's Power Hour and Circle B diecast Chevy Camaro continues to lurk behind Ryan Vargas. This is the battle for 5th. And right behind them, the out-of-the-groove Camaro of Christopher Tate. They're all still in contention here, trying to make moves happen and keep themselves in contention for this win. But it's tough because Parker Retzlaff continues to dominate the field, now above a 1.5-second lead.
Yeah, I've really been amazed by what he's been able to do up there. Certainly looks like he has this place figured out. The 17 of Tate, if he can get a little bit closer, Brennan Poole and Ryan Vargas look like they might be starting to battle soon. So he'll want to be there to be able to pick up the pieces if they start to go side by side.
On the move right now, the number 73 Seenval Camaro, we just talked about him. Dalton Kilrow has now moved up 2 positions. Got around Drake, and now a slide job on Presley Soar out of turn number 4. The number 73 car has forced his way into the top 10.
Nicely done. And earlier on, I thought he was in a bad spot, but I guess maybe playing possum a little bit. 75 isn't done with them. Sora, once again, looking a little bit wobbly out there off of 2. He's going to dive it down to the low side through 3 and 4.
One more lap until we eliminate 4 drivers. This is not the elimination line, but remember, I think we can still vote for our favorite paint scheme. That Line All Racing number 75 car, he's a big player in that vote, I think.
Now, we've already had the killer come and surprise us, so I'm trying to think, what's the next horror movie rules here on how this is going to twist. Looks like we do have the yellow. No sign of that puppet yet.
So here's what we're going to do, guys. I think we all know that the Puppet Master wants to take away 4. Eric has enough control of this channel, though, and so we're going to vote for what driver we want to keep alive.
Tick-tock. The game is almost over.
I was wrong.
These are not your friends. It's their life.
I can bring us back.
Yours. Only
You got it.
one can survive.
Oh gosh, we're closing in on the final stint. Chat, I think Thad Moffitt has effectively been put out of his misery at this point. So there are 3 other drivers on the chopping block. There you have them. They're in the chat right now live. You guys can vote for who you want to save. I really like how this final stage is shaping out up front. But right now, all the focus is in the back. And it looks like, I'll give it a few more seconds as they ride around under caution. I don't think the puppet is breathing down my neck just yet. But it looks like, looks like Dale Tanhart from the Garage Guys has won the fan vote and will live to fight another day. I guess I'm a little biased in this case. I promise I didn't rig the poll. He's got a nice looking paint scheme though. But there you have it. Gentlemen, we're down to, 13, 14 drivers left, and only one can survive the night. And it all comes down to this final 30-lap stint. Does anyone have anything for Parker Retzlaff, or is this going to be a cakewalk for him, Devin?
And chat, you can also have that number 81 Daily Downforce paint scheme. Not the number 81, though. It's going to be a different number. But that Daily Downforce machine, if you go ahead and participate in the YouTube giveaway here on Out of the Groove. But on top of that, thank you to all those who have donated so far to Extra Life, a Children's Miracle Network charity. A $250 donation would get you a diecast of that Out of the Groove or Daily Downforce paint scheme that will ship later on in December. Thank you to all of those who have donated so far. Let's continue to keep on fighting for our groovy goal. Glad to have you guys here. And there's a look at that 4-pack of diecast as well. The Out of the Groove BJ McLeod number 78 car over there on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And then, of course, there's also other incentives to go ahead and do some donations. For $55, you get a free copy of the NASCAR 75th magazine that will mail immediately. For $75, there's the free full-year subscription to the NASCAR Pole Position magazine. And as I mentioned, the $250 donation gets you an Out of the Groove or Daily Downforce diecast. And Joe, I got to say, all the diecasts look great, but one final stage here is going to determine whose soul is going to survive.
And this has gotten interesting. Stallnecht has taken 2 tires and gotten himself the track position over Parker Retzlaff. Is that going to be a good move in the end?
I tell you what, it's either win or die. Yeah. So you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it then. So that's going to move the O2 machine and Matt Stallnecht's Toxic Waste Sour Candy Camaro to P1. The last time Parker Retzlaff started outside front row, he was caught snoozing a little bit. So maybe Stallnecht can do the same here and try to get that O2 car to glory. And now a special note here, though. I don't think that the chaos has been enough for the Puppet Master. We're getting word that we will have iRacing cautions for this final 30-lap stint. So if it does get too chaotic, he wants to stack them back up, re-rack them, and make them go again.
I'm curious. That could help Stallnecht. That could hurt Stallnecht, because if we get enough cautions, then, I mean, he won't suffer the effects of those 2 unchanged tires as much. But if he if they get backed up and we have a long green flag run, well, it's going to be hard to hold on. I just don't see that car having enough pace.
And it looks like Groovy Hollow has been awarded a maximum of 3 green-white checkered attempts. We'll keep that in the back pocket and see how that evolves here as we reach lap 120 to determine the winner of this race. I think there's only one driver that we haven't talked about, and it's far past due time to discuss the number 11 of Rhett Tucker, because he's taken that Max Graphics Toyota Camry into the top 10. He sits P10 right now, P9 right now, with an opportunity to get in the mix here in these closing laps.
Well, and Schildhaus up from 16th. He's 13 positions up. Kilrow is up 11 after starting 23rd. There's definitely been some survivors out there today.
All right, chat, we continue to ask you to vote to save drivers, bring them back from the dead, and have them compete for this victory. Right now, chat, I want everyone to go in there and tell me who you think is going to win Groovy Hollow 3. Is the 2-tire strategy going to pay off for Matt Stallnecht? The dominant car tonight, Parker Retzlaff, does he steal the lead back away? How about the speed of Mario Miranda, David Schildhaus? Who do you think's going to win? We're going to decide it here in the next 24 laps. Back underway, it's time to decide who's going to win Groovy Hollow 3.
Doesn't look like it's going to be Brandon Hauff, though. He spun the tires up and fell almost to the very back of the field. Meanwhile, it looks like Stallnecht is doing his best to hold them off, but he's already being swamped. Look at that, 3 wide for the lead.
David Schildhaus digs it in deep up to the door of Matt Stallnecht. Can't keep the momentum going, trying to get to that left rear quarter panel, and it's not enough. Retzlaff comes down on the car, and we have a massive wreck of your top 3 cars into the outside wall. David Schildhaus to the point.
They keep it pointed forward, though. Both Retzlaff and Miranda smashed the outside wall. I don't know how the cars are still running at the pace they are, but it looks like they're going to be able to survive. Schildhaus up from 16th at the start.
Retzlaff came across the nose of the O2 machine, and for the first time tonight, way up front, how about Brendan Poole? He's got a shot at winning this race. And then Ryan Vargas in the critical path security number 26 machine. He's in the hunt as well.
Wow. I did not expect that to be the turn of the night. And Retzlaff, did not get the clear there. Kind of surprised that he did that in the heat of the moment, especially since he's shown that he's actually really, really good today when he's up at the front.
The calamity continues here. Groovy Hollow. Retzlaff going backwards more. Christopher Tate in that number 17 out of the groove machine. He will slide into 5th. Miranda now making the move on that Funkaway number 31 Camaro as well. It's a dogfight for P5, but the top 4 starting to run away. And at the tail end of this group, how about the Lionel diecast machine, the number 75 of Presley Sora? He's at the very tail end of the top 4. He might have a say in this before it's all done.
But we are looking for the winner most of all, and Schildhaus is starting to pull away up at the very front. It could get brought back in if we get one of those cautions. We'll keep an eye out to see if that changes things. But right now, after that accident, I mean, nobody has been able to keep up with that 7.
The last time we ran Groovy Hollow 1 year ago, it was that man out front at Daytona. Shieldhouse looking to go back to back in Groovy Hollow races with our Halloween theme. Can he close the deal tonight? There was no caution there in that calamity in turns 1 and 2. Everyone kept it straight, but that doesn't mean that we won't have a caution moving forward. Does Shieldhouse have enough to complete these next 17 laps?
It was almost a 10th faster than Poole last time. So it is looking good in his favor. As farther in the back, the 77 trying to get underneath the 6 there. This is for 7th.
Half ran up front for so much of the night, but that Chlor Automotive machine just hasn't been able to move his way forward after that deep slide about half a race ago. Trying to make the move on that national metering number 6 of Mario Miranda. Trying to utilize that inside lane, sliding up, right up on the door of Miranda, and can't seem to make a move.
Did a good job from keeping that from becoming another wreck with Miranda. Remember, he was involved in that last incident with Retzlaff as well. And now he's got a very good run off the corner. Half is going to duck to the bottom side, and he will try that bottom line, which seems to have cost a few drivers in the past when they try and pinch off that corner. He's good, but he doesn't have the momentum.
Half continues to chop away here at Miranda's machine, and right behind him trying to follow along is the number 63 Dogleg Media Camaro, Malachi Drake. He almost gets into the rear quarter panel there of the 77 machine, and Drake now trying to slide on forward into P8.
Yeah, Half hit side to side with Miranda, had to chase the car, and well, now it looks like he maybe lost the tires a little bit because he's fallen backwards as the car of Drake just easily breezes by.
Presley Sora in P4 right now continues to put pressure on Ryan Vargas, but is yet to either force a mistake or find a lane on that number 26 machine. Everyone really moving up the track right now, utilizing the cushion here at Iowa, if you will, as everyone's chasing David Shieldhouse, hoping to retain his soul and take Baloney Burger to victory lane here in Groovy Hollow 3.
I've been tracking those lap times. Brendan Poole has not been quicker on any of the laps than David Shieldhouse. He's just kind of easing away from everybody. It's up to 0.7 of a second. Someone's going to have to step up. Otherwise, they're leaving it up to chance on whether or not we get that full course yellow.
There's 12 laps remaining in Groovy Hollow 3. Ladies and gentlemen, continue to keep donating to that Groovy goal. We really appreciate everything that's been donated so far. And big thank you to everyone contributing to Extra Life, a Children's Miracle Network charity. A great cause, a great night. Let's take one last push, guys. Go to GroovyHollowRaceway.com. Make your donations now. And let's try to meet that Groovy goal with 11 laps to go.
Yeah, definitely can't encourage people enough to try and help out what is a fantastic cause out here. Brennan Poole probably isn't thinking forward as much. Vargas just been breathing down his neck for quite some time for that second position. And even though it might not be a win if things stay as they are, I'm sure he won't turn down a P2.
Shieldhouse's lead is now nearly a full second over Brennan Poole and Ryan Vargas. Shieldhouse has been doing more and more work in the real-life NASCAR world and communications, maybe a little bit of marketing here and there. He's been traveling to a lot of tracks, and right now ahead of a pair of real-life racing drivers trying to take home Groovy Hollow 3.
Been loving this fight here at the front. A lot of tension between these two, and it's less than 10 laps to go. Not far behind them to Sora there in that number 75, but he's going to have to get up on the horse if he really wants to get involved in a fight for podium position.
What do you mean? There's no podium position. It's first and deceased. Those are the two positions here tonight, Joe.
It's not champagne. It's the tears of your fallen comrades. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Fallen comrades. That's exactly what it is. I mean, Matt Stolnick had the right idea. He took two tires, tried to have the track position. That's what's wavering right now. But Stolnick, after that issue when they had all the contact going into one, that O2 machine has slid backwards into the 13th position. It looks like his soul will be forgotten here as we move forward until Monday night and we have a broadcast on Podium eSports, and he'll probably be back for that. But for now, his soul will be gone at the end of the race. David Schildhouse leading the way, Poole, Vargas, Sora, and Tate your top three. How about Malachi Drake, though? We really didn't talk a lot about the number 63 Dogleg Media Camaro, but boy, oh boy, how good has he been? Hey, here's a look at Ryan Vargas, too, by the way, inside the cockpit. Just someone who, it doesn't matter what kind of race car it is, he pounds away.
Absolutely, and that's the sign of the best drivers, that you can put them in anything and they're going to be quick immediately. So not too shocked on that one. But he hasn't been able to do anything to Poole. If he's kind of biding his time, he's going to have to make that jump soon.
Just 5 laps to go here in Groovy Hollow 3, the Out of the Groove YouTube channel. It's the Baloney Man. I don't think he's going to want to keep that nickname, but for now he's sponsored by Baloney Burger. But David Schildhouse leading the point, coming to 4 laps to go, looking to become the first repeat victor of Groovy Hollow and only our 3rd edition. And we will talk to whoever wins this race afterwards, because all the other drivers will be forgotten and forsaken and whatnot. But for now, David Schildhouse looking to become a back-to-back Groovy Hollow victor. And there is money on the line, too. The victor last year won a purse. This year, they'll win a purse as well. So a little something for David Schildhouse 2 years in a row if he can make it through these final 3 laps.
I'd say the way that this car has been handling at the end, it's already up to 9/10 of a second. He's got this under control. And like I said earlier, for Parker Retzlaff, who actually unfortunately has, parked the car, I kind of put that one on him for making that decision in the heat of the moment. I know you want to try and stay up in the lead, but we still had a lot of race left to go. He didn't need to chop down in that time.
2 laps to go on Groovy Hollow 3. Hey, we see a big push right now towards our Groovy goal. A couple more laps, guys. Continue bringing in those donations. And it looks like only one more soul will remain here. Remember, these are your donation categories. $55 will get you some good, a free copy of the NASCAR 75th magazine. $75 for a free full-year subscription to NASCAR Pole Position magazine. $250 for the Out of the Groove or Daily Diecast or Daily Downforce Diecast. One more final lap to go. Tonight was all about chaos, calamity, fear. And after all the chaos came to a close, our only major wreck came on the restart. David Schildhouse was there to pounce. He becomes our only repeat Groovy Hollow winner. David Schildhouse, a victor of Groovy Hollow 3. His soul shall remain victorious.
And everybody else, I guess, gets sent to the depths, unfortunately. But they can dwell on what they could have done differently, I guess, in the pits of hell.
Wow, that was not corny nor sappy. That was very on the nose right there, Joe. I like where we're going with this one now. David Schildhouse, your victor. Vargas in 3rd, and Poole rounds out your top 3. And what was a chaotic night here on the Out of the Groove YouTube channel. I think now that the race has concluded, Eric has control of his channel back, but David Schildhouse has control of the race as he will burn it down in the Baloney Burger number 7. Schildhouse, the victor at Groovy Hollow.
Love to see him get to celebrate this one. And go figure, one of the cars that we kind of agreed that was one of the best looking ones would wind up going to win the race. I guess good looks count for something.
And I think we still have time to vote for your favorite paint scheme on the night. It might be this one right here, is the Baloney Burger Chevy Camaro. Looks good doing burnouts down the front straightaway. Still time to get in your donations, though, as well, to meet our Groovy goal to continue raising money for Extra Life, a Children's Miracle Network charity. So grateful to be a part of this for the 3rd year with Eric Estep and all that he is doing to help raise money for an incredible, incredible group and all their efforts, and on such a very fun time of year. Eric, that race was intense. That race did have the chaos and calamity and chaos that the Puppet Master was looking for. And I think David Schildhouse enjoys making a little bit of money off these races.
Oh, absolutely. David Schildhouse, 2 in a row, backs up his Groovy Hollow performance at 2 completely different style of tracks. Last year, we were at Daytona. This year, a short track here, Groovy Hollow Raceway. But what a performance. He lurked all night long. And when we get him in here, hopefully in a moment, I want to ask him what he saw in that final restart when Retzlaff and the O2, and they made contact up there. It was a bold strategy call from Matt Stallnick. Didn't quite work out for him, but a great drive by David Shieldhouse in that final stretch.
Yeah, but Eric, when it comes down to either having your soul erased from all time and space and winning the race, I think that was the right move to make. But then we had all of our chaos show up, and that's exactly what this race was meant to be: chaotic, interesting, and a little bit on the line for all these drivers to make it work.
Absolutely. No, it was fantastic stuff. And I'd want to give a shout out to everyone watching. We are, last I checked, we are well over $1,000 donated for Groovy, for Extra Life and Children's Miracle Network hospitals. You guys were super generous tonight. Absolutely incredible. Came on strong there towards the end. As exciting as that race was, ultimately the goal tonight, beyond just having fun, beyond just being a bit spooky, was to get to raise money, good cause. But hopefully, I think we can get David Shieldhouse in here in a moment because he is our lone survivor of the evening.
The only soul that will remain alive here after Groovy Hollow 3, back-to-back. Groovy Hollow winner, David Shieldhouse. And we were just talking about how it was supposed to be chaotic. It was supposed to be wild. The intensity was supposed to be high. And that's what we saw on that final restart. You took advantage and come up with the win. What were you thinking when you see arguably 3 of the best cars on the night slide up and into the wall, and all of a sudden, boom, the money's right there for you to take?
I was thinking, sick. We're going back to back, baby, in the Groovy Hollow, and that's exactly what we did. I don't know what happened between those guys, but I'll take every opportunity that I can to win these things, whether it was on pure speed or a little bit of racing luck or whatever it is. I'll take it either way, Devin. I don't really care. And I'm just so happy to get this Bologna Burger Chevrolet to victory lane 2 years in a row, man. That's unbelievable. That's never been done before. And so I'm real happy to represent Bologna Burger. I just learned he was a YouTuber. I just thought it was a food car, and it sounded delicious. But he's a YouTuber, so go check him out on YouTube. Bologna Burger does NASCAR content. Very cool. Hot damn. What do I win?
I think you win some money, but on top of everything, your soul doesn't get erased from time and space and forsaken forever. So big congratulations on that. But you did have speed. I don't think really that you had yourself up front ready to make that move, but you had the consistency for 120 laps to be there when they did make that mistake. And we saw cars throughout the race get squirmish. I think that the arm of the Puppet Master was going up and slashing tires. What did it take to be consistent over 120 laps just to have yourself in position for when that moment came?
It just had to be really disciplined with the throttle. This car was, it was a bit of a beast, and it really took a lot of discipline with the throttle pedal, to be honest with you. Running the right line, trying not to battle people, and keeping the rear tires on it. I kind of messed up on that third stint. I put too much fuel in it. I'd added a little bit on the first stop, and I added a little bit more on the second stop, and that was a bad idea because it was just undrivable for me. And that's why I fell back for Mario and Parker. But I knew I was still good enough to hang up there. I really had to make sure that I did the right thing on pit road on that third and final stop, and I did that, which was not add any fuel at all. And wouldn't you know it, Devin, that was the best the car drove the whole night. So we nailed it on pit road, and I don't know, again, what happened between, Stallneck and Retzloff and Mario, but that really cleared the way for me, and then it was about hitting 17, 18 consistent laps and making sure I didn't make any mistakes, and there you go. It was a fun night. This ended up being a really enjoyable event. It's really cool to win 2 of these in a row, from such a different track and car combo from last year to this. And I know everybody's salivating now. It's like, we want to see Cup cars at Iowa next year. Let's go. So if it looks like this, we could be in for a pretty fun race next year, I think.
And the easy take for me was just to call you the Baloney Man at some point, because, that's a good-looking car. I think we still have time, everyone, to go and vote for your favorite paint scheme at GroovyHollowRaceway.com. That nickname's probably not going to stick, though, right?
Devin, I've been called a lot worse. You know this. Both on the air and off of it, without a doubt. But this is a damn good-looking car. When I was looking through the list of cars, I used to drive the 7 for the longest time early in my sim racing career. Now I drive the 20, but when I saw the 7, I saw this beautiful purple paint scheme and Bologna Burger. Again, I thought it was just food. I think food first, and that sounded delightful. But to represent somebody that puts out great NASCAR content on YouTube, not named Eric Estep, is really cool. To take him to victory lane, I'm sure he's excited. I'm excited. And yeah, go vote for this thing. I think the voting is sadly over already because last I looked, Presley Soar had like 10,000 votes, even though I don't think that's possible. But I'm not getting into all that. We won the race, and that's all I really care about.
And remember, guys, you can still help reach our Groovy goal right now to donate money to Extra Life at Children's Miracle Network charity. Eric, Joe, any questions for our last survivor?
Well, I guess the big question is, how much Halloween candy are you going to buy with all that prize money?
Well, I need to know how much I'm getting first, and then I can tell you.
That's an Eric question.
That's a question for the puppet guy. I think he stole my wallet at some point during the stream. We'll figure this out, but congratulations, David. I know when I talked to you, I think a few weeks back, might have been I don't remember where it was exactly. But
it was at Homestead last weekend.
Yeah, was it just this past weekend? God, it feels like forever ago. I knew you were excited about this event. Glad to see you contend once again. And man, can you go for 3 in a row next year? 2 in a row hasn't been done, but the event's not that old. 3 in a row, that you're setting records that may never be broken. So yeah, great to have you. Hope to see you back here again next year.
I appreciate it, Eric. I was excited for this to come back. I had so much fun last year winning the event, and it's always cool to come back and try and defend a championship, a title in a special event like this. But let's remember why we're all here, and that's for Extra Life to raise money for the kids through the Extra Life Foundation and all the work that they do. And so to wrap sim racing in with a really worthy cause and make it a fun event like this with all the lore and everything, all the promos that you guys have made. It's just so fun, and I love to see it. You've really turned this thing into something bigger than sim racing, and it's really an honor to be a part of it, and it's really special to be now a 2-time winner. To answer your question, if I can go for 3 in a row, that's only if you invite me back.
Well, much to the chagrin of the other competitors, we may have to do just that. But congratulations, David. Really appreciate you being a part of this great event. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you back here next year. Congrats.
Thank you very much. And thank you to everybody who tuned in, supported, everybody over at twitch.tv/Shieldhouse. The children loved what they saw here tonight. Let's go. I'll be back in a year for number 3.
Love that enthusiasm. Good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess I want to sort of tie things together. Nice, neat little bow. Don't mind this, just in case, infected burst through my window here. I have to be prepared. But a great show once again tonight. I want to thank AE Engine, Podium eSports for producing, creating, developing this event, this series. Of course, Extra Life for being a great charitable partner, and all of you guys. We raised, I didn't see the final total, but it was well over $1,000 once again tonight. So fantastic stuff. You guys are amazing, extraordinarily generous, and it's all going towards a great cause. I guess Gary Joe and Devin, Gary in the broadcast booth or the production booth as well. You got
Congratulations.
Yeah, my bad.
I knew you were the one.
I'm glad you cut me off there.
I hope you enjoyed my little game. Play again soon.